Hello and welcome back to Mistworld. When we last left our heroes, their ship, the Hope and Grace, had crash landed on the planet's surface. They were scattered to the winds, but have now managed to re-find each other, short one member, the and new party member in the shape of Melody, the bard bug. They were wandering along the surface trying to find signs of their missing party member and have just come across a goblin who introduced themselves as the goblin word for moist. I apologize if you find that disturbing.
We all find that disturbing.
I believe I said it 50 times in the last episode, so we're good.
Yeah, it's called inoculation.
I thought that
He's
was another goblin.
Exposure therapy.
exposure therapy. So Moist has taken you guys underground. He's wondering how the hell did you get there, basically. Um, and he's taking you down to the underground city he describes as Zaramun's. Now, Melody as a bard and collector of stories, and Mr. Whitbear as a goblin and well-educated one at that. You can both roll 3d6 to see if you know anything about that name.
I got all threes.
All three, so not familiar to you. And Melody, did you want to have a crack?
I am rolling on.
Mhm.
I got 2 1s and a 3, so I'm going to go
Nice.
with no.
No clue. That's fine. We start clueless and will remain there for the remainder of the campaign. So you guys have gone through one thing about your goblin companion as you guys going through Melody. You especially noticed this. They've got a lot of scarring all across any exposed skin. So these kind of raised welts. Looks a bit like kind of like the tapeworm welts, if you know what I mean.
Does it look
And Melody with
random,
your
or is it like
like it's some kind of
ritual,
ritual
or is
scarring.
it random? Yeah.
It seems random. If anything, it looks like a sign of illness.
One of those things that looks like it's tracing through every vein in someone's body, for example.
Not veins, but
But
it does look like it's a raised above. Yeah,
Yeah.
They have bugs under their skin.
you don't know yet. I mean, do you want to keep this one open to find out?
We have bugs here. I'm sure that this bug can communicate with those bugs.
Yeah. Um, the racism has also started.
Mhm.
Melody, with your photographic memory,
Yes.
oh, sorry, eidetic memory,
Eidetic.
you realize that almost everyone on board the Hope and Grace, when you guys were leaving it on the surface, had similar marks. They were a lot redder and looked a lot more fresh. Everyone that is except the 4 people that you're traveling with.
hmm
As you guys going down this hallway, eventually it opens up to this massive cavern. You're able to see there's like these little patches of like glowing mushrooms kind of in alcoves everywhere. It's not, it's nowhere near bright enough for daylight, but it's bright enough that you can see comfortably with no issues. And it's looks like there's about dozens of goblins running around everywhere. It's a big space. There's little huts, mud, adobe style houses everywhere, and it's the size of a proper city. There's a few of them. All the goblins seem to be moving in groups, and every now and then you'll see like one of them holding candles with a bunch of them and just kind of looking over at papers as you guys come past. And but you guys, you being the only kind of non-goblins, bar Mr. Whitber, are getting a lot of attention as well. They kind of like nudge themselves and look at you as you guys walk past.
Yeah, I think Henry's just looking around and marveling. I mean, the fact that this place has existed and we've been living from mountaintop to mountaintop above the skyline of the mist for so long, and there's entire cities and civilizations down here. It's just a lot for him to take in. I mean, he's come from a family where, his parents were essentially the mayor of this small town that has recently been lost to the mist, and the mist is apparently rising in theory. And so yeah, it's a lot to take in. So I think Henry's just freaking out a little bit, but trying to internalize. Just shaking, just breathing heavily.
Absolutely. Anybody else doing anything?
Pretty much just following the goblins.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, Melody is following, but keeping trying to see if she can see anyone else who has the markings more similar to what we saw at the crash, what she saw at the crash site, rather than this guy's like, I don't want to say healed ones, but like older ones.
Yeah, everyone seems to have these same markings. At one point, like it's probably hard to tell, but a goblin child kind of scampers past you, and they've got like one or two lines. They don't seem bothered by them. They don't seem like itchy or anything like that, but they're certainly present. After a while, one of those groups of goblins kind of stops and starts singing an old-fashioned tune. It's this kind of lovely little song um about walking along the beach. And it's kind of a foreign concept to you guys. None of you have seen a beach. Like, but they're talking
It's
about
that
walking
point
along
where
the
the
beach.
mist reaches the edge of the mountain, right?
Well, that's kind of what you guys like. That's what your language says it is. But you know that there's like this archaic, where the ocean meets the sand one. But it's not something you guys have seen or known about.
I mean, guys, is that water? Look at that. It's more water than I've ever seen in my life.
No, they're talking about it though.
Talking about it.
They're not on it.
Sorry, I was
That's right.
imagining things.
Well, but the way they're describing it is unbelievable to you. You've never seen like you've seen like water bottles, or you might have seen like a water tank, a rain tank, or something like that. There's this idea of
In that case, Henry pulls Mr. Whitbeer's shirt. Is this some kind of goblin joke? They make up large quantities of water? I don't get it.
Weren't you a rich kid? Didn't you guys have like a pool at your house?
I mean, we had 3, but I mean, as far as the eye could see, I don't believe that. That's crazy.
They're goblins, they're just really small, so they can't see as far. The horizon is a lot closer.
We're the same height.
Yeah, but this is a goblin child. They're a lot smaller.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Idiot.
As you guys make your way through the town, more and more of these little singing groups kind of come together. It seems like you guys have come across a festival. They're not all about the ocean. That just seems to be the topic of choice for the first group. They're about anything and everything as you go through. What eventually Moise kind of stops at his house and at one particular house and says, "Look, this is my house. I want to hear more about your story, and I can give you some food." And just let you know we can talk about what you're trying to do.
I mean, we kind of short on time. I mean, I don't particularly want any sacrifice to happen to our friends. I mean, is it going to be quick? Is this? You said this was a shortcut to the city, right? Or
Yeah.
where they were taking Neely.
We need to get
Yeah,
supplies
well,
and we need to get going.
I'll try not to take up too much of your time, but I've never seen anybody like you at all, and I would be honored if you could share a meal with me.
Yeah. I mean, it's rude to ever turn down a free meal. So yeah, let's just do it. We'll make it quick. And yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine. All right, everyone, come in. Henry pushes the door open and kind of waves people. It's just all right. Well, he would wave people in, but he can't with his other arm. He gestures with his shoulder.
Gestures.
You gesture.
Stop.
All right. So he lets you guys in. It's a fairly small space that he's got. It would be large for a goblin, and for most of you, are comfortable. But Melody's kind of cramped a bit against the roof. Against like one corner, just above the main doorway, there's what looks like a resin statue of an old goblin sitting there. It kind of looks it's got this weird angle to it. It looks like it's kind of crawling or reaching out, and it's just been like roped and attached to the roof.
I'm gonna ask about it. Ask if it's an ancestor or a mythological figure.
Yeah. Or
a golem that's gonna attack us.
It's no, it's not going to attack you. That's old Uncle Esma, which is the word for drip. Yeah, we fished him back out about 3 months ago, and we put him up there for good luck. He always had a good laugh.
Fished him out of what?
Oh, the swamp down the way. It's just how we do.
She looks confused by the idea of a swamp.
It's a big wet place. When we put him up there, and when it was time, we brought him home, and yeah, he's looking over us now.
Oh,
You put him in the swamp?
Yeah, don't you do that? It's how we keep our people with us.
and we're going to eat under that.
He was dead when you put him in the swamp?
Oh yes, yeah. It's just our way of remembering him. So we put him up there, and after a while, he starts being so juicy, and he kind of absentmindedly like taps the statue, and it's quite hard. Um, we just we
Good throw.
he and now it's
Sorry.
just our way of holding on to him.
Yeah. Okay, well, maybe we could take the food to go as long as it wasn't prepared underneath that. I mean, it's lovely to meet you, but and Uncle, it's lovely to meet you too. Henry
The
kind of
statue
bows his
doesn't
head.
respond.
Yeah. But I think it's time we should get going. Anyone else?
I'm 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 fascinated. This was your, I mean, not living exactly, but this was your literal ancestor, not a statue of your ancestor, and he's turned to stone by the
That's
swamp.
correct. Yep.
Can any swamp do this, or is it a specific swamp?
Well, we've only got the one swamp to do it with. I haven't, it's not like I get to go out and experiment throwing different family members into different swamps.
Is it a specific place or just anywhere? How big is the swamp?
It's quite large. We all do it. It's kind of a custom around here. I'm surprised that you don't know about it. We all participate in this.
We don't we don't
not
have a
from
swamp.
around here.
Mhm. No. Well, that's why I wouldn't have you. Oh, where am I, man? He kind of runs off and comes back with like a little, like probably the poorest cheese plate you guys have seen. Like it's got like very runny brie, tasty cheese that's quite hard. It doesn't have any mold in it. It's all clean food, but it's clearly like, and it's probably the best that he can offer. But
Yeah, I'm just
you
gonna have one of these craft singles that you've laid out, and he unwraps the wrapper from it, and yummy. Okay, thanks for the meal. Good luck with your swamp. Could you just point us in the direction of the exit?
Mhm.
That would be fantastic.
So he well, okay, here, let me just, and he runs and he gets like this map of the city and a few exit points, and he says, okay, well, look, if your friend was captured by the Horde, and what we've been hearing, what we've been seeing from our people up top is that the Horde have all changed directions. They were all kind of scattered everywhere doing their own thing, but now they're all heading back to the temple location. Um, your friend will be most likely will be with them. You've got a couple of choices here, and these are all dangerous. I want you to understand, but he kind of like looks at the way you're all armed and armored and things like that. You look like you can
I
all
find
handle
that
yourselves.
offensive.
He gestures, but doesn't, but tries to kind of like looks at you and your sword and goes, "Yep, you got that." Um, now you've got a couple of options to try and head them off at the pass, as it were. If you want, you can try and go underground. Obviously, that's got its own um, issues, but if you choose to go down this path here, and it kind of indicates, and if you go left and then right, and then it'll go down a bit, that'll and you keep on going, you'll eventually come across the next town, and they'll be able to give you further directions. I'll about where to go. I'll give you a letter to pass on to one of my other cousins. Um, Otherwise, if you choose to go overland, that's probably more dangerous. He kind of says that last part in a whisper. You'll be right, if there's any scragglers from the horde or anything else that tends to follow them, um, you're more likely to run across them. But if you want to get out that way, and he kind of indicates another pathway, you go right, right, another right, and then spiral up, and you'll be a bit further ahead than where you were instead of going through this mountain that you're heading towards. You guys couldn't have seen it. Um, I'm happy to give you this map. Only 1 second, and he kind of marks like gives another set of directions. That's to the swamp. Your friends seem very interested in that. It's a
I
little bit
I
out of
am
your way.
so interested in that. I really want to sample. We can get it on the way back if we have to rush, but I I I want to do some tests on the swamp.
Fair enough.
Moist, which way is the fastest?
Well, to be honest, the fastest would be going over land, but you'd be more likely to face trouble. Um, and then he finally notices Astrakhan. He looks at you and sees Darling kind of hanging limply there, and he says, that thing's not on, is it?
No, she's had a bit of a setback. I need to fix her.
Mm. Well,
I don't
it
suppose you
looks
have a workshop.
no, but if you do want to go underground, there is an area where there are creatures that look like that. Um, Again, we tend to avoid them. They tend to be quite aggressive if we go anywhere near that area, and there's no food or anything like there, so we're happy enough to leave them be. But if if that's your thing, you can try heading down that way. And again, he writes another set of directions. The map he has is only of the city, so it just kind of indicates a third exit and left, left, right, right, up, down. It gives you the Konami code of getting to this third area.
BA select start.
Yep. To get to where you want to get to that location if you want to go there. Like that's a little bit out of your way, they'll probably be the slowest. But if you're looking for a workshop, that might be something there. It's up to you guys.
Well, we're definitely going to go that way. So let's plan on that. Henry?
Yeah, I mean he did say it was the slowest, but I can see that that Darling is probably one of our best tools in helping track down Neely. So if everyone's okay with that, Melody, Whipper?
I mean,
Should we-
in a nice way, the speed is not something that I am worried about because,
Okay.
and I
so
don't mean this in a mean way. She was not my friend, so,
yeah,
but I am
yeah,
fine to
that's-
help. This is not, I'm not anti-helping. It's just I don't know that I am as pushed as you are.
Okay, I guess
perhaps.
that's two voting for the slow path, and Mr. Whipper.
I think we should get to Nearly as quickly as we can.
Yeah, I mean that sounds like a really good idea too. Yeah, no, I mean Mr. Whipper makes some excellent points. Any rebuttals?
There is a
No.
horde. There's a horde where we're going. And we have to actually not just get to Neely, but get Neely out. How are we going to do that? We have no plan, and the only one of us who can sneak the shit is Darling.
Fair point.
Yes. Yes, I don't want you holding.
It'd be
I
good
don't
to
want to be holding
know.
you back.
Melody looks slightly like affronted by that because she hasn't considered the fact that she is a giant glittering bug. It's that moment of like, hey, oh, but she hasn't had the oh yet. It's the
It'd be like
A
10
moment
minutes down
away
the
from the
track.
O.
Yeah.
I guess time is money, or time is nearly, as it were. Nearly up. You get it? That's kind of funny. All right. Let's go. Thank you, Moist. Good luck to you and your ankle.
Moist, how far away is the Horde encampment?
Well, in terms of the groups that are going around, the one that was near your whatever that was that came out of the sky was quite small. They're all kind of coming together and then moving towards the temple. Um, in terms of they're all over the place up the top there. They're the only ones who can kind of stay up there for any length of time.
Where's how far away is the temple?
Oh, days, possibly weeks, depending on how fast you travel.
And what were you doing up on the surface, Moist?
Me, we have a few people who go up and keep an eye on the horn to make sure they're not going to find our hardy holes and try and give warning. I was up there trying to make sure that they weren't coming too close to us when I saw you and the familiar face, a familiar shape, and I thought, well, I better help these guys out while I still could.
So we've got to go by the swamp. Um, uh, or
Well, you don't have to, but your
my
friends seem
companions
interested.
are intending to go by the swamp
Yes.
in order to hopefully repair our good friend Darling here. Do any of your scouts or outrunners head past that way as well?
Well, actually, now that you say that, there'll be a funeral tomorrow. If you want, I can see if they can guide you along the way.
I think that might be beneficial.
I mean, that is additional time we kind of
That
don't
that
have.
is yeah, exactly. More to the point was, just like you're keeping an eye on the world, I was wondering if you could put the word out for your friends that hey, this is our we're looking for our good friend Nearly,
Mhm.
and they were captured by the horde, and if anyone spots them, to sort of pass the message along until it hopefully would eventually reach us.
So you guys have found a couple of the scraps of that little flyer thing that Neely has been dropping. You can give him one to show that
Yeah,
symbol if you wish.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah, so
looking
kind
for
of
we're looking for this symbol that's been drawn in the pathway that our friend has gone.
I'll take that. I'll let everybody know to keep an eye out for that symbol, and if anybody happens to run into you again, they'll let you know where they've seen them.
Thank you. I genuinely appreciate that, Moist.
As you kind of say that, there's this horn call. He goes, "Oh, look, it's starting. This is a bit exciting, actually. Just, if you want, we're going to go see the show, and then I can lead you to whichever entrance you've chosen to go, whichever way you've chosen to go."
Yeah, I mean, if it's on the way and we can get out of here from your uncle, that both are good. Yeah.
Great. All right. Great. And he goes and gets like he goes to get like a cup, like a tin cup. Um, so do you guys have your own cups, or did you want one of your own? I've got some spare.
What's the show?
Oh, you'll see it. It's great. And then it kind of looks outside and you see like a few people walking past the window. We better get going. If you want to grab a cup, they're just there, and it kind of indicates a shelf where there's a few other tin cups, and yet they all run out.
I wanna grab him as he goes out and
Hmm.
I'm poke him in the chest
Hmm.
and in Goblin say like, what's the show?
Well, it's the reason why there's a funeral tomorrow. They caught the murderer.
Right.
There's been a murder?
Well, there was a murder.
Yeah. Do we understand that? Is he replying back in Goblin or is he replying back in the
Depends
equivalent
on
of
it.
common in this system? Brain.
Yeah, well, so he's replying back in whatever Miss Whitbur's asking. So if Miss Whitbur's talking to him in
Who was
Goblin,
murdered?
oh, the old lady Flannery, her son was trying to steal her house, and we've caught him, and now he's about to face justice. Come on, it's not something they can do twice. Let's go. And he kind of squirms through your gasp and runs down the street.
All right, Henry, just thinking, great, now we've got a way to exit. We'll just chase after him. Oh,
Yeah.
hold up. Come on, guys.
Hold up, hang on, Henry.
God, we're going to lose him, just towards where he's running away.
Okay, the show, I'm fairly sure, is an execution.
Oh,
If you guys don't make a move soon, you're going to lose track of Moist.
okay. But
I'm gonna follow Moist. I don't care if it's an execution. I want to know what's going on.
Melody is going to grab 4 tin cups if there are 4 and head
Yep.
off with them and sort of wave them at the other 2 as she leaves with Astrakhan to more be like, I've got your cups, you're fine. Like,
looks like you're outvoted, Mr. Whitber. Let's go. We got to catch Moist and start running along. I mean, how bad could it be? He's a bad guy.
we don't know if he's a bad guy. We only know it is potentially a situation that someone is in trouble for.
Okay, well, either way, it's not here. Kind of looks back at the around the corner of his eye, the hanging uncle. Anything's better than here.
That's fair. That's very fair. The hanging uncle is a sentence.
Bad name.
But is it a hanging sentence?
Is it complete?
That sounds
Right.
like a tavern's name.
Yeah, the hanging uncle. Deal.
It sounds like the setup for a joke. It's just waiting for its punchline.
No, that's what happens at the event is the punch line. That's yep.
You're waiting
Sorry.
for the uncle to drop.
Yeah.
We are.
Am I familiar with any goblin justice rituals that utilize cups?
Uh, roll me 3d6 as an educated person. See what you know.
Do I know stuff about my own society?
Well, to be fair,
Four,
it's
No.
like
6, and a 2.
4, 6, and a 2. So
Oh.
the 6 is a success. So you finally
Maybe.
got a success, guys. Yeah. So it's not common in goblin societies. Banishment is more of a thing than execution. Um, but when there have been areas that have done execution, it's generally either hanging or beheading. A kind of they don't draw it out. It's just get it done, move it on. You don't know anything else outside of that.
Right.
So you guys run towards the scene where the show
I
is taking
walk
place.
because my legs are going to keep up with everyone else if I walk.
Fair enough. You can fly up for a better view.
I could
if you
fly
wish
up,
to.
but I'll do that when we get closer. I will
Yeah.
flit up above everybody, but she's not putting
So-
in any more effort than necessary at this point.
So there is so what you see when you guys get there, there is a stump, there is a goblin with a an axe, there is a blindfolded prisoner being held. There's a person in quite a vicious looking robes giving us a speech about how they dispense justice and in a situation where there's limited resources and limited space, we cannot simply imprison somebody who would so callously take the life of another. On one side, you see what look like a group of either very sick or very old people, kind of on one side, and there's like a group of guards standing in front of them, and they've all got the tin cups as well. And as the kind of speech continues, the guilty person kind of comes up, puts his head down. He stays silent. He doesn't have any last words to say. The axe raises, and as soon as it comes down, those two guards that were standing in front of the group of elderly and sick people stand aside, and they all come forward with their cups.
So are they cheersing his death, Moist? Assuming we've caught up to Moist.
Yeah. Well, he's like, well, they get the first turn that a family who that are sick and infirm, they get first drink, and then if there's anything left, then shakes his cup.
Oh.
I see. I see you've got I see your friend gave you a cup. That's great. I mean, if you want, I can see if we can get you moved up ahead in line.
No, I'm good. He just feels the craft singles coming back up his throat. I'm good. Oh,
Yeah.
thanks. Oh. Yeah, help yourself. Which direction was this exit?
Oh, well, which one did you want to go to again?
The one where the creatures like the robot are.
Right. So yeah. So you want to go the longer way, but with the robots. Excellent. Okay. So he kind of points, and you can see there's an entrance there. If you go through there, and he gives you a complicated set of instructions that were on the map, that I assume Astrakhan is carrying.
Yep.
Left,
and he
right,
says,
right, up, down, up, down.
Yep. And he says, if you go down that way, go through there, you'll reach the spot. We know that there was a way through. Like it's not just a dead end. You can get out through, but not many. But that was a while ago. Nobody's really kind of gone back there since to check or maintain that area of tunnel. So you should be able to make it through. If not, just come back. Feel free to come this way, back this way. I'd be happy to see you again. And I might have news on your friend if any of our scouts come across any of those pamphlets.
Great. Henry looks on for a second at the visage of all these, goblins running towards the front with the cups.
Yeah.
And
Blood fountain? Blood fountain.
Yeah, blood
fountain. And incidentally, for anyone curious, both Uncle and the situation that I'm describing, real human events.
Oh, that's fun.
People are great. People do such wonderful things to each other.
Henry thinks for a moment and wonders if The gods were the ones who separated us with the mist, so we'd never have to see this in our lives.
And to be fair, we shouldn't judge people unless we too are as desperate as they are.
Yes, and I am pretty desperate to get out of here. If you'd all be willing to follow me in this general direction. And Henry drops his cup and starts walking in that way.
Well, Moose is right next to you. You can just hand it to him, and he'll be
No,
like,
I'm
Yeah.
dropping
he's
my
got a
cup.
two fist.
I'm double parked, baby! Let's show them why they call me moist.
All right. So he gives you guys instructions. Does anybody want to stick around, or are you all heading out now?
I think we're all heading out.
Just as everyone else heads out, Melody has pulled out her notebook and made note of this most disgusting of events for
But she's going
future
to pull off one of
reference.
her wings and then starve all the goblins by catching it all in their giant scoop.
They're her functional wings at the moment. She hasn't shed them.
Yeah,
She hasn't flown either.
I have flown. I've used them. I've used them to fly down. You just weren't there.
Yeah. See?
You were off dying as somebody else.
I was trying to rappel down a broken ship with one arm.
You're gonna create a ground person religion now. They're all demons that drink people's blood.
I'm going to start focusing on becoming a inquisitor. That's my next class, as Henry.
Melody, did you want to take a quick 2d6 kind of perception roll as you take in more details and pause to do so?
Sure. That's a 5 and a 4.
Awesome. So with the 5, one thing that you kind of stands out to you, the blood that's coming from the guilty party is a bit darker. You can kind of see it like on the imbibers' faces as well. Like it's just just an extra shade darker than you would expect. It's not that you're a warrior who's seen oceans of blood, but it's not that you're completely innocent either.
Yeah. No, I'm picking up what you're putting down. Yep.
Yeah.
Do I notice that at all?
Did you stop?
Not really, but I was
Yeah.
fascinated by the blood and rather than disgusted.
Yeah, if that was like the part that you were focusing on in this particular scene, I'll let you have a 2d6 roll to see if you pick up on it.
I'm just wondering if my alchemy would let me have any idea whether it's a difference in composition or whether they're likely just full of parasites. 5 and a 3.
Yeah. You've got a tin cup. Do you want to collect a sample?
You know what? I do. I do.
Everyone's
Right.
so glad I got you tin cups.
I am. Melody, you are my new best friend. In fact, I'm going to keep
I regret
another
nothing.
of the cups in case I need to get a sample of something else left.
You can take the one that certain people decided they didn't want and were going to leave behind.
All right.
What
So
did
you
Mr. Whitbeer end up doing?
So you quickly scoop up some blood, and yes, as a result of having that interaction with it, you noticed again that it's quite dark. You have to wait in line a little bit though. As I said, initially first there were these people at the front who got first dibs, and then you've kind of like shoved your way to the front with a tin cup, going my turn, and scoop, and off you go.
That
And
sounds
yes.
like me.
Yeah. And yes, you absolutely notice it is that kind of weirdly darker shade. I'm just gonna roll a dice for some unknown reason. It's okay, guys. Don't worry about it.
Oh, good.
I love that you told us that even though we can't see you and therefore
Yes.
wouldn't know if you'd done it behind our backs.
It's because he wants us to worry.
Yeah, I know.
I want to justify why one of you is about
That's
to die.
the slightly sadistic part of GMing. I want them to know I'm rolling a dice.
What did
Yes.
Mr. Whitbeer do during
And
that?
and for those of you who are curious, it was a success.
Oh.
Happy day.
Excellent.
That means we're successfully going to get out of this with no problems, right?
It means that I was successful at whatever I was rolling for.
Mm.
You guys leave. You guys have to have your sample of blood. You have your memories, and you take off down the tunnel. Unless there's something else you guys want to do at
Well, I think
the great town of Zaramuns.
If I have a moment, Henry will kind of sidle up to Mr. Whitbeer and solemnly be. Have you ever seen anything like that before, Mr. Whitbeer?
Yeah, but it was only with it's what we used to do to halflings. That wants to steal from us.
Oh, so it is common with goblins
Oh, no, I've
to.
never seen this in my life. It's really fucked up.
Oh, okay, okay. So it's a down here thing. That's what you're
Yeah,
trying to tell
this
me.
is I don't know what's up with these ground people.
So far I don't like it down here. I want to go home.
Yeah, I would tend to agree with you on that one. It's the ground so far isn't nice, and I miss the airship quite a lot.
Yeah, me too. Come on, let's catch up. We potter along.
Yes. Quickly catch up to the others. You enter the tunnels. The ground is eventually kind of you follow as you follow the directions. The ground kind of the sorry the tunnel becomes a bit less maintained, not quite as smooth as the others have been. Um, After a relatively short period, a couple of hours, it opens up once more, and what you see is what looks like a large temple, almost like a very large, very angular building. Um, Mr. Whitber and Melody again, because your of your history, you recognize this being dwarven construction um, from way back when. Um, it's quite uh, there's no movement at the moment. If you guys want to continue on, guys can continue on, or you can change your mind. But it's so far nothing seems to have noticed you guys entering the space.
I don't really have a reason to check out a weird dwarven building in the middle of nowhere, where there are bloodthirsty lunatic goblins just around the corner type thing.
Mhm. Well, so you need to go through to go through the building to get to where you're wanting to go.
Right.
Well, then I guess we don't have a choice.
Well, I mean, you can double back and go through one of the other ways.
Oh
There's
no, we'll
more.
definitely continue through. I'm not doubling back.
Mm.
Can I try and pick one of these mushrooms and see whether they continue to glow after they've been plucked?
Yeah, sure. So they're not as common in this area, but there is like a little handful near the entrance. So you just kind of grab one.
How big
It
are they?
does, yeah. It does maintain its glow. It's kind of it's not like a torch. It's not like directional, but you can see around you relatively easy. You don't know how long that's going to last, but
Yeah, Henry will sheath his sword and hold it up around, so he can have some kind of light around him as we travel into the dwarven structure.
easy. Could I get a marching order?
I am probably at the back as I linger and look at all the interesting things.
Henry will lead because he's trying to push the group to move faster.
He's a brave defender with obviously a
With no
shield strapped
shield.
to his arm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
didn't
was like,
have
can I go with above instead of a marching order? Just
Wait, but
above?
above near the front or above near the back?
I would have said like if given a party of 4 above
Mhm.
the middle, because
Above the
that
middle.
gives like that's how triangles work.
Awesome. No, all good.
Yeah.
What do you, so so initially the first door you guys come across, very large, kind of like those massive, Lord of the Rings style, you got to push it open and it swings back.
Speak, friend, and enter.
Um, in short, what you see is in the center, there is a large, metallic statue of, again like a very angular creature, like it is humanoidiform, arms and legs, um but it's very angular and very kind of stylized in that sense. Running along the left hand wall there are books and with workbench, well, not workbenches but like study desks, I guess, like a desk and a chair kind of in one area, and on the other side you see what looks like a row of chairs and a lectern at the front.
Is the statue of the dwarf lifelike size, or is it much bigger?
Oh, much bigger, massive.
I didn't know dwarves could come that big.
Melody looks at you like you're an idiot. Like that's a solid
If it's
oh,
an
okay.
enormous dwarf, is it actually a giant?
Attack
Well,
of the
it's
giant
whatever
dwarf.
it is, it's giant sized.
Giant sized.
Mm.
So it can't be a dwarf. It's giant sized.
It's a bird defect.
Maybe it was adopted.
Yeah, it was adopted into the dwarves.
Now this is just the front room. There are like doors leading left, right, and a couple leading straight ahead as well. This is just the kind of opening area.
I'm going to look for the information center map
Mhm.
to find out where the "you are here" is.
Sure. Yeah, give me a 2d6 roll as you kind of look around the area and see what you find.
Double three. Henry
Double three.
continues to succeed.
So the bad news is that you don't find a map.
Oh,
The worst the worst news is, hey guys, remember the last place that you went to that was dwarven made and how many traps it had?
I think
No.
most of them only were affected by Neely because it was all human height. That was the problem.
It was all human height. So as you kind of wander, you kind of get very close to the statue, and you kind of absent-mindedly like brush your hand against it, which in turn activates the giant golem. Could I please get a
Golems again.
Could I please get a an initiative roll? So everyone roll 2d6, put the results in the chat so I can track who goes when, and get ready to have some fun.
Cumulative result.
Cumulative result, just to kind of help spread everyone out.
Classic 3.
Nice, Kate.
3 and a 1. That's 4.
Well, the good
I
news
got
is
a
you're
2
not
and a
last.
1. That's
Good news
3.
is I'm not last.
It turns
And-
out
Typical
Also-
Henry behavior.
If
And,
Ashtrakan was
Mis-
expecting traps.
people missed it, this is the very sharp D4 that I dropped on the ground, which has the sharpest. I was like, I need
Jesus
to go find
Christ,
that.
what the fuck
Yeah,
is
these
that?
owie.
Sharp edge. I was like, nope, no, I can't leave that on the floor. I will stand on it. So,
All right. Cool. And which Miss Whipper. Awesome. So Danny,
Yes.
you equaled the goblin, but I'm going to be nice and let you go first. You equaled the golem, but I'll let you go first. Can you please take 2 actions?
Okay. What I was going to do was casually but very carefully investigate the rooms without touching anything. But apparently,
But
my
then Henry.
companions. Yes. So
Wow, this guy's really big.
I am going to try to run past the golem and hide in the next space available where it can't directly see me. So whichever room is across the way from where I am
So-
now.
So you can like there is like desks and stuff you can hide in here.
No, I want to be in another room.
All right. So left, right, or straight ahead?
Straight ahead.
All right. Yeah, give me a 2d6 roll to kind of get there before he
Without
notices
being
effectively.
stomped.
Yep.
That's 2 4s.
So you get there. The bad news is that you you get there and the door's locked. So you're stuck trying to open it. You're like yanking on the door, let me in, and then the golem turns and makes eyes with you as you wander past it. You have one more action left, I'll say.
uh, I am going to try. Now, I've previously tried just unlocking doors, and I seem to not actually be really good at that, although
Mhm.
you'd think I would be. So instead, does this door have a keyhole, or is it just like a stone or a wood door? Does it
It
have
does
a
have a
handle?
keyhole, yeah. So you can try and pick it. Use your golem tools.
Can I try to use my alchemist tools and just melt it with something really acidic?
You can give that a go. Give me an alchemy roll, so 2d6 to see if you can come up with something strong enough to melt through it in one go.
Fingers crossed.
Mhm.
That is a 6 and a 2.
Nice. So you managed to quickly like grab some reagents, put together something that's kind of like will melt through the wood around the lock, and you manage to like pour that in. The lock falls out. You don't have enough time to run through the door though. It is now the golem's turn. So what you see for one of its actions, It catches fire. So it's got all these like little as part of its design, it's got all these giant little gas vents all around it. And so it as well as being this kind of like angular
Giant flaming
creature, it's now
golem.
flaming giant golem. That's right. It's then going, since you're the one who's trying to enter its realm without permission, it is going to make a grab for you in particular.
Of course it is.
That's funny.
It rolled 2 successes, but
Oh.
even with 2 successes, it's only 1 damage. So you take 1 hit as he kind of tries to grab you and punches you basically against the wall. It is now Miss Whitber's turn.
Ow.
Well, Ashrakan ran one way, so obviously I'm going to go to the right-hand door, run the
Yep.
other way.
So yeah, you can go left or right.
Yep.
She's gone straight ahead.
Yeah, well, the golem is already facing that, focusing that way, so obviously going to run off and try and find another way to go.
Sure. Give me a 2d6 roll. See how you go getting there.
6 and a 4.
6 and a 4. So with the 6, you're able to get through. You get through the door, no problems. This looks like some kind of extra area similar to the one that's outside. So you got like a lectern at the front, a slate board or a blackboard next to that, and a whole bunch of chairs. There is like a small, what looks like might have been a library, some shelving on one side, but all the books there look at first glance look ruined.
No exit in this other exit in this room.
No, looks like another
Okay.
lecture hall.
Well, with that, I want to try and I want to then taunt the golem to try and come towards me.
All right. I mean, shooting it would probably
shooting
achieve
at
that
it?
as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
An arrow is just as good as an insult in this situation.
Yeah, absolutely. So 3 because it's my preferred weapon.
That's right.
4, 3, and a 5.
Cool. Connects. So you manage to shoot it in the back. It turns and its attention is now on you as a active aggressor. Kate, you're up.
Melody is going to. Let's take the third direction. Let's split us all up all over this room. That feels
Absolutely.
fair. Woo! That feels sensible because then we've got the 4 cardinal directions all sorted. That feels right.
We need one of those.
I just love how like
most
most people like don't split the party. Everyone in this group, it's like no, my first action.
Well, she's also not splitting as like getting further in, but and around, so that she's near multiple people.
Yeah, no worries.
What is this room? This is good. What is the floor like in here? This is a really dumb question, but like...
it's like a shiny a granite style thing.
Cool. Welcome to dumb things my brain has decided is happening today. So
yeah.
Not sorry. She's gonna take 2 of the mugs and basically try and skim them across the floor so it gets under its feet so that it can't move towards. It can just go splat, if at all possible.
So it is quite large, but
yeah,
I like this idea of you give it like basically.
But if I had marbles, if I had marbles or like whatever, I'd use those. I don't, so
you know what? I love it. I'll allow it. So roll 2d6 to see if you're able to
never have I wanted
get them under. And
never have I wanted this more.
And what'll happen is if it takes a move action, it'll need to make a save not to fall flat on its ass.
So I got a 6 and a 4.
Cool. So you somehow, with uncanny precision, managed to skim the not just 2 cups. Like you kind of like you grab like everyone else's that are around you. So there's like there's 3 of them. You kind of sling them underneath. They're right in front of where this creature is. So if it does, as I said, if it tries to make a move, I'll need to roll a save to otherwise it's going to slip and fall on them.
Yep. Sounds
and
good.
Then are you running away or are you gonna try and
well, my movement would be as described, I'm gonna go in the third direction. So we've functionally created cardinal directions, which I think is 1 move and 1 action, which is all I have.
That's right. So give me a 2d6 to see if this is locked or not, because I'm liking I'm liking putting the result in your hands.
A 6 and a 3. Go on.
Cool. So this one you come in.
Yeah.
We'd probably recognize this place as being a excuse me. You recognize this place as being almost like a surgeon's ward. So there's like a large flat table. There's lots of like mirrors hanging suspended from the ceiling to redirect light onto something else on the table. There's like a little raised area where people can like look up and over and down on what people are doing.
Yeah.
And there's a handful of hand tools kind of rusting away in this area as well.
Okay.
Mr. Whitber, abandoned by your friends. Oh, not abandoned, sorry.
It's
Henry,
not
abandoned by your
Henry
friends.
sounds more like it. There you go. Henry's
Henry,
the one
abandoned by your friends. It's now your turn.
Great. So Henry's standing directly at this thing's feet
Yes.
as it's swinging over at Astrakhan.
Mhm.
He looks, he's holding his mushroom and thinking, okay, I got nothing here. I'm going to drop the mushroom and reach into my bag and pull out my rope.
Yep.
And I want to try and wrap this rope around both its legs, kind of, ATV this thing where we wrap it around the legs and try and trip it over.
All right. I will point out the describing word flaming mecha giants.
It's okay. I think it's fast enough to trip it over. That's all we need.
Right.
It's long enough for it to do that.
I'll allow you to snow speeder this thing around. Roll 2d6 to see how well you do tangling him up.
All right, let's do it. Oh, baby. 1 6 and a 4. A 6 and a 4.
Nice.
That's something.
So you managed to not only tie up his legs, at one point you managed to like jump up on his knees and get one of his arms tied to it as well. So it's down one arm and two legs as you do that.
Just sweat dripping off his brow because of the heat coming off the thing.
Oh yeah. Second action?
Yeah, I think he's going to try and follow Mr. Whipper. It just seems that they had a moment before, and he's like, "Well, you're my best friend now."
Well, I'll say Astrakhan's right there as well. Like they just unlocked this other door.
Okay, Henry will push open the door, and can I do a tackle to knock Astrakhan through the door with me?
Sure, absolutely. I won't make you roll for it. So so you get up on its shoulder. You're like, Astrakhan, look what I did. And then as Astrakhan looks, you dive down, grab them around the waist, and you guys tumble through into this door that you haven't had a chance to see what is in it yet.
We recreate that scene from The Lion King where we tumble down and then I lick her face.
No.
Only with consent.
There's a consent issue there, absolutely. So you guys tumble through the door, and fortunately, it's just one empty long hallway with doors left and right running down it, so about half a dozen on each side, and another door on at the end.
All right, time to Benny Hill this thing. Start running through doors.
Mr. Whitber, it is your turn again. Oh no, not Mr. Whitber. Astrakhan.
You really want Mr. Whitber to go.
I don't know what's wrong with me.
I'm gonna stick with Henry. Henry's running away from the flaming giant golem. That sounds like a smart thing to do.
But there's lots of doors.
That's true.
And this is potentially a golem university.
That is also
Why
true.
would you say that?
Why would you say that realistically?
because I know my characters. It could be a world of imagination and knowledge.
Do I think that the giant flaming golem that's chasing us can fit through the doorway easily to chase us some more?
It looks like it's designed as like a police action for the entrance to make sure that people are well behaved. They can't fit through the door that you've just tumbled through. But that's not to say that there isn't such a thing as backup. You don't know what else is in this place. But if you want to have
gonna check every door that we go past, letting Henry get further and further in front of me.
But also, like, this place is probably your best place to find a way to repair, darling.
Yeah.
Like, that's why you wanted to come here.
Yeah. I'm not going to go into a room unless it looks like it has something really interesting, but I am going to open every door that we go past and just
Yeah.
peek into the room, which probably makes me significantly slower than Henry.
All right. I'll let you open 2 doors as kind of as your 2 actions as you go
Okay.
down. Or so you open. Are you going like? This sounds stupid as I ask it, but I'm just trying to visualize it properly. Are you opening like the left door and then the right door, or are you going like
Yep.
all the doors on the left-hand side as you move forward?
No, left, right, left, right, left. I'm
Cool.
zigzagging up and down the corridor.
All right, so door on the left, janitor's closet. Door on the right is some kind of storage space for academic equipment. So you see like little hand slates, chalk. Most of it's like old and kind of drying, but you could, if you're after something like that, you could try and grab some of that. But that's your turn done.
Cool. Oh, and I'm leaving the doors open as I go. So
Mhm.
they're now a hazard for anyone coming after us.
All right. Its turn. It's going to basically like uh overcharge its flames and burn away at the rope that was tied around it. So that takes up its action to kind of do that. It is then going to move towards Mr. Whitber, but because of the tough environment that was put for it, it's going to make a save at disadvantage because it is slow and unwieldy, and roll the 1. So Melody's plan to make it trip and fall makes it trip and fall. It's now
Nice.
lying on its back. Mr. Whitber, it is finally your turn.
It's lying on its back. It's prone. So
It's prone.
fantastic. Our plan worked, Melody. Clearly.
Plan.
Well, as everyone's gone, sort of Henry's run up right next to me, correct?
Yeah, you did. No, so Melody's on the opposite side of the hall from you. You've gone in one to the door on the right. They've gone for the door on the left. The other two have gone forward, and you can't see them.
Cool. My room's a dead end. I'm going to go
You've got
shoot
cover. You can fill it with
after.
arrows from where you are as well.
I could,
Mhm.
but I won't. I'm going to run past it, and as I do, try and shoot it in the eye.
All right. If you're taking the time to take a shot as well, you won't make it through the door. Like you'll get halfway, but you can like run and shoot. Give me a 3d6 roll.
Get extra advantage because it's prone.
No, it's standard 3d6 roll. There is no such thing as extra advantage.
5, 4, and a 2.
Cool. So you plink it again. It's definitely hurting from this fire, but it's nowhere near dead yet. Melody.
Looking at this room, is there anything in there that I think that I could, because I don't have a ranged weapon of any real description. Is there anything I think that I could throw that's immediately within arm's reach of me that I could throw at the now fallen over golem? Because it's probably my only chance to like hit it with anything.
Sure. Don't forget you got your shield thing ability as well.
Yeah.
And
I'm
your
aware,
singing.
but it's prone right now. Yeah, the singing's not going to do crap right now. like yes, but it's not going to do anything.
Yes, but no. Fair enough.
Yeah, I have considered my singing thing. Yes, my shield thing.
You can literally throw a wrench at it. Chuck a wrench at it.
Cool.
I'll call that a 1d6 because it's a improvised. Oh, yeah, I'll give you 2d6 because you use one-handed melee weapons.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I will yeet a wrench at it. Right.
Roll to yeet.
Roll to yeet. That is a 4 out of 5.
The 5 hits. You managed to knock some gears out of it. You still got another action as well. If you want to throw a hammer this time.
No, I want to again, there's sort of a dead end in this room, so I'm gonna basically follow the same path as
I came over here because I thought it was in the dead end.
And then
I thought you knew what you were doing.
I did think I knew what I was doing. I did not. Well, I mean, I had a plan. My plan is now to run away. To head to where the others went is the best way to describe that. And I don't know if in terms of triangles, I should make it if it took Mr. Whipper that long to get to me on a I'll science this, but it's not. There's no point. It's up to you.
So the way I'm interpreting it is, Mr. Whipper's has run and shot a boat towards you.
Yeah.
You've seen him running towards you. You've hucked the wrench at the same target and are now leaving where
I'm
you
not-
were, and
I'm
towards
trying to
the
make it so that we don't have two of us about to be squashed by the same thing. At least if there's two directions for it to attack in, that's a better
yeah. So you're
answer.
heading towards the back room where the other two went through.
Yes.
Awesome, all good. Your mid sprint, halfway through across the room to do so.
We collide into each other, trying to.
Well, it's no. I was imagining it's more like you're going in opposite directions because you're heading to where she was, and she's heading towards the other two. So it's more like a triangle. Um,
Like a waltz or a dance, which is
yeah,
trading
It's a
places.
baseball field, you know.
it's a baseball field. Yeah,
Hit
Hit
exactly
hard, run
right.
fast, turn left. Yes, exactly.
Still a base.
Lucky, you're up. Are you just
Excellent. Yeah. So I think Henry's running the way down the corridor. Just don't worry, we're almost there, Astrakhan. And then looks back and Astrakhan's not with him. So, oh, crepes! Turns back. What are you doing?
She's got like a handful of
Nothing.
whiteboard of hand slates.
Nothing. I'm coming. I'll be right with you, Henry.
Is there a what's the word I'm looking at? Is there a door at the end of this corridor? Sorry.
Yes, there is. What I'll say is that before you kind of realize that Astrakhan was there, it is a door leading to the outside.
Okay. Cool.
And then you kind of like got in there, looked outside, like we're almost there, and then you turn around and they've got like, and yeah, Astrakhan's blindly searching through each individual room.
Okay, I think Henry is going to call back to everyone. Just, I see the outside, and at that point, he will just do a quick glance outside to make sure that there is no imminent threat coming upon us.
No, you're all good. Astrakhan, back around to you.
Next two doors.
Next two doors. Awesome. Door on the left is again another lecture hall. This one's got a table at the front instead of a lectern though. The door on the right, however, has a whole bunch of humanoid.
Another police column.
There's a head crab that launches out at you. No. It's a few racks of human-sized golem parts. So spare parts, things like legs, arms, bodies, all kind of depowered, very cheap and nasty, but like it looks like they're like, learning instruments basically to teach people how to put together golems.
None of that looks like it'll be useful for Darling, does it?
Not for Darling, no.
Nope. Forward, next doors. I can always come back. If the flaming
Understood.
golem hasn't chased me yet, I'm probably good.
All right.
As I yell ahead to Henry that I'm absolutely coming, I'm almost there with him, I'm clearly lying.
Yes.
Henry believes you.
No one would be
100%.
fooled.
You are currently acting like my wife, but it's time for us to leave.
Wow.
So the golem currently is laying on its floor. It spends an action to kind of gather itself back up and stand up. There is only two creatures that it can see. Melody by far is closest to it than anyone else. So it's going to take a stride and a swipe. It's okay. It's really bad at this. It isn't. I'm rolling three.
Does it have to get up first? Does it have to get up first?
So just like you guys,
So
it
only
gets
gets
two
one
actions.
It gets one side of me? Great. It's okay.
Can I could I preemptively taunt it?
No. It's more like you've stayed behind. You're behind her. She's well and truly in front of you. So yes, it takes a swipe. You take 1 point of damage as it collapses as it slams down into you. It's now in melee with you. It is now Mr. Whipper's turn.
Still on fire.
It is absolutely on fire. You've hit it 3 times. Or sorry, yeah, between the two of you, you've hit it 3 times. So it's definitely getting worn down if you choose to keep on filling it with arrows.
I'm going to I want to take a rope out of my pack and throw it to Melody and say, let's trip it up and leg it.
Yeah, I'll say that like using your two actions kind of will give Melody one to be the anchor as you run around and do so. Give me a 2d6 roll to see how well you do.
Any chance I could, because probably acrobat doesn't count, I guess.
Oh, well,
I
I'll
mean,
say you
if
can do it
Henry can do it-
acrobatically.
Sure. I'm used to working with ropes and everything on the airship.
Yeah, you know what?
I have.
I'll give you
shit.
advantage. I'll give you 3d6. Why not? Between acrobat and being a shipwright, I'll give you an extra dice.
Okay, cool, great. Because I got a 5, a 2, and a 1.
Nice. All right. So the third dice saved you. Yeah. So you're like you parkour around the desk, going up and over and under. You manage to not only tie up its legs, but you manage to like strap a couple of desks to it as you go. Um, and again, if it tries to make a move action, it will most likely fall over again.
Fantastic. Let's get out of here.
You two are still there though. Right.
Um,
Uh,
my turn, I think.
your turn. Yes.
So I want what I want to use is what I can use my shield for, like the dazzle. But can I have my first action be to tell Mr. Whitber to cover his eyes?
Sure.
Such that that's then because like she knows otherwise he's getting like he's gonna get
He's gonna
whomped
get
with
caught.
it. She's
Yeah.
not stupid. But
If you're wanting to spend one action to kind of like either position yourself or warn him, hit the
yeah,
deck,
but,
then
'cause
that's fine.
it technically says like anyone who can see me, which
Yes.
kind
Which
of
is
regardless of where he is, he would be able to unless he like shielded his eyes and whatever. So
Yeah,
I
I'll
am
let
happy to
you.
use that.
Yeah, use an action to give him a free save. Yeah.
Cool. So I will then take the dazzle action with my rainbow shell, which means that the golem has to make a save with disadvantage,
Or it loses an action.
or it loses one of its next actions.
And it fails. Yep. It kind of it blocks its ocular senses as it reels, and it stumbles and falls again as as a tag team move. You not only blind it, but knock it prone once more.
Cool.
Awesome.
That's all I got.
Smooth.
Yeah.
Nice work.
Like
Actually,
nominal high five between the two of them, although it's me like low fiving because height differences are real.
Well, it's just the standard 5 for you, and it's a high 5 for Mr. Whitber.
Exactly.
Drive.
Although I
You
guess
bent
it's
down a
technically
little?
like a 3. It's like a 3 for me because I think I've got insect hands. I don't have 5
You got
fingers.
insect claws.
Like,
Yeah. Cool. All right, Lucky, where are you at?
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I mean, Henry's just, I don't know what else Henry can do. He's panicked and he's just calling out I think he's just stand at the entrance and be like, guys, come on, hurry up, get out of there.
I mean, you could just like huck a rock at it while it's down and out.
Yeah, Henry's not particularly good with aim, and I'm more worried about hitting someone. So I don't think Henry's going to do it. Honestly, Henry's in a position where I think he's just wanting to escape. He's not. He doesn't think he can fight because of reasons.
Like
yeah. So I think he's just standing at the doorway, calling back, pleading and begging, get out of there.
Awesome.
So, yeah, Henry won't do anything.
I'll say that like you give an extra dice to somebody around you, to the other two who are still in the room. Next time they try and do an action, as you kind of encourage them and support them.
Plead and beg.
Yeah.
Save yourselves.
Astrakhan, next doors.
Yep.
All right. So you open up the next one, similar to last time. This is like, teaching room, whatever. It's got the lectern up again. You go back to the other one. This one's full of like marked liquids in tins and jars and things like that. I don't believe you can read Dwarvish though.
I don't believe that I can actually read Dwarvish, but I believe that as an alchemist, I have at least a passing familiarity with the danger symbols.
All right. Yeah, so there's some that are marked like hazardous materials.
I definitely need some of these. I don't know what they are, but I'm gonna take a selection of random hazardous things that I don't think are immediately explosive unless they're mixed.
Yeah. Just because I don't know what happened to it, but I'm just going to I'm going to say you've got it because of your pack rat life mentality. You've got the bag of holding that was originally used to
Oh,
steal the ballista all those campaigns ago.
cool. I'm going to empty this room of everything that I can grab.
Yeah. I'm just going to say that you're given your pack rat lifestyle, you've held on to that all this time.
I would too.
I mean, with that in mind, we could have probably shoved the golem inside it.
That would be such a waste.
I don't know, just throw a golem into a church. Good luck. Anyway.
Right. So you got all those liquids, that's all good. It is now the golem's turn. So it's tied up, it's tied up, it's on its ass. It's going to burn through the ropes again and then spend an action getting up, and that's it. Basically, it can't do anything. As you guys try and sprint past it. Melody, you're up.
No, I'm not.
Hey.
Oh no, with Mr. Whitber. Yep.
It's
Um,
actually Mr. Whipper's turn.
this
Okay.
time, yeah, it is.
That's why I actively skipped him. Just like I
Yeah.
couldn't possibly be. I'm not making this mistake again.
Fuck this guy. Yeah. I'm gonna
It's like
run down the
it's like the
hallway.
time I just couldn't
obviously.
remember Astrakhan's name a few sessions ago. My brain just rejected it every time I tried to say it. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I'm gonna run down the hallway and
Mhm.
sort of Henry, you're at the end of the hallway, far end.
Correct, I am.
No,
Just screaming.
he's near the door as you walk in. He's screaming to give you help.
What? No, I was at the far end, like where the exit is.
Ah, I thought
Yeah.
you like walked past Astrakhan to yell at the others to hurry to.
No, I
up.
made it to the entrance. That's how I knew it was an opening to the outside. And so I'm standing at the opening, begging people to come to that location.
All right. Yep. So you just run past Astrakhan as they're loading up the bag of holding with the jugs.
Yeah.
All right.
You guys are going to be
Astrakhan's
grateful
just
that I took
grabbing
these.
everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like just like skid past the room and just like look in and just like into this bag. What are you doing?
These could be useful, Mr. Whitber. Some of them explode.
I'm gonna grab things as well then. If things explode.
What are
You start helping her shovel into the bag. All right. You both commence shoveling. Melody, you're right there. The golem's
Yeah.
standing over you.
Can I? So am I in the doorway?
Oh, actually, no. It lost its turn. So
Yeah.
it's still sorry.
It's
so it's
either
not
got
even.
ropes or it's flat on its ass.
I'm gonna say it's flat on its ass still.
Cool. I am in the doorway functionally. Great.
Well, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So I have a rapier. I'm just gonna stab at it. Odds on,
Cool.
rapiers against this kind of stuff. Not great, but
All
little
right.
stabby and then leg it.
Roll to stab.
Roll to stab. How many do I get for stab?
3d6.
Thank you. A 6, a 4, and a 3.
You stab it. Could you also roll one extra d6 for me, please?
I'll roll the pink and sparkly one. That's a 4.
Oh, actually, roll 2d6, not just one. Roll an extra one.
All right. That's a 3.
Cool, they're getting worse. You take 1 damage from the
Five,
flames as you stab back. The 2d6 was you trying to avoid that as you stab it and leap back, but didn't quite make it.
Yeah.
So you've hit it. It's bloodied. It's halfway down.
She's legging it. It was more of a stab and run.
Stab and
like
run.
Batting off any embers off of herself as she's running towards the others.
Done. All right. It's so you run past. You also see Mr. Whitber and Astrakhan hauling jugs into the bag of holding. Do you stop and help?
You mean the bag of holding that I didn't know existed until right now?
Yes.
Cool.
That one,
Yep,
yes.
cool. I'm gonna. I don't realize it's a bag of holding. I'm going. I don't know that functionally.
Right. So just because I imagine Astrakhan's careless as hell and not paying and didn't close the doors afterwards. So as you go past, you see Janice's room, education store space, 2 lecture halls, 1 room filled with like golem body parts, effectively really shabby ones, but limbs and bodies and heads, and then this alchemy room where they're gathering everything they can.
Yep. Cool.
All right, just with your eidetic memory, you pick all that up.
I know. Yeah, there's all of the rooms. Cool. We love eidetic memory for the purposes of telling us stuff. Yeah.
Lockie, are you just standing there going, "Come on"?
So at this point, has Melody made it to where Henry is?
You're all in the hallway now.
Yeah.
You're the only one like at the exit door. Everyone else is like, a third of the way down.
Yeah, I think he'll call down to Melody. What are they doing in there?
They appear to be getting supplies of some kind.
What? We've got supplies. Hurry up. It's getting up. I think at that point, seeing that they're all out of the way, he'll try and throw a rock at it from where he is.
Sure. Give me a 1d6 given the distance.
One.
So
one,
I'm assuming
Uh-oh.
that none of my friends are near. Actually, I've got the halfling luck.
Yeah, you got halfling luck, so it'll be 2d6.
There we go.
I'm warning,
No
a critical failure
disadvantage.
will peg somebody in the head. So 2 ones will peg somebody else, one of your friends in the head.
Just preparing to have to roll to duck at this point.
2 and a 4.
So the good news is you miss your friends. The bad news is you also miss the goblin. It's just got the golem. You peg it and it sails and then it drops like 3 meters away from you.
Yeah.
I'm getting pictures of me throwing rocks at the kangaroos to chase them away from my fruit trees.
Pretty much.
Well, I mean, he's only got his left hand. He's not a left-handed thrower.
Astrakhan, you're up. Next doors.
Next 2 doors. How many doors are there in total?
You're halfway done. I am coming up with these rooms on the spot, so thanks for this.
You make me sick.
So third, to save my imagination, is another teaching room. But then on the right-hand side, you come across some. I don't want to describe them as Pokeballs, but that's what they are. Like these kind of round, intricately carved. They're about that kind of baseball or softball size, a bit larger than a tennis ball. So
more of an anal bed.
Yeah, you do see that some of them have like light bulbs, like they got like spaces for lights, but none of them are lit up.
Some kind of copyright safe version of Pokeballs.
I have no idea what they are, do I? Or can I make
give me a 3d6 roll to see if you can work it out.
They're full of Pal World characters.
I get 2 5s.
2 5s. This is what these are. Is part of, they're part of the magicians that would help you repair Darling. So they've got this kind of for lack of a better word, spirit juice inside of them that with appropriate time, patience, and a workshop like the one that Melody saw at the other end of the university, you can completely restore Darling.
Oh, I'm going to grab all of them as well.
Yeah. Yeah, so the problem is you need to spend all of these seem to be inactive. You'll need to find one that is active. So you have to like search for. So you can give me 2d6 to see if you find that now.
Okay. The ones that are inactive are useless in the like used batteries or just not as useful.
Useless.
Okay, that's a 1 and a 2 for search.
Cool. So not this time.
Find anything. Yeah, no.
Golem's turn. It stands up. Well, you guys don't see this, but you hear the sound of it standing back up, given it's fallen on its ass 2 or 3 times now. This should be familiar. It then starts emitting a siren.
Oh, that's not good.
Melody, it is now your turn.
No, it's not.
Oh, Mr. Whipper. It's because I'm going by order on my Zoom.
You can't rearrange
after we've shoved everything into this bag, and Astrakhan just disappears in another room. Like, it's like, okay, we grabbed everything explosive. Now it's time to go.
All right. So you're with Lockie at the other end?
I attempt to drag Astrakhan along.
Astrakhan?
By the arm and try and shove them further down the hallway and saying it's time to go now.
All right, Esther, how do you feel about this?
This is the best place to find something to fix Starling. You could help me search quickly. We need things like those balls, but live.
Okay. I will help with the search then. For the sake of us trying to get out of here quickly.
Give me a 1d6 roll as this is something that you're not super familiar with. I love if this
2.
succeeds though. No. So you kind of like, this one's is this it? Nope. This is it? Nope. Is this it? Nope. And not able to find it. Melody, it is now your turn.
Eidetic memory. So I would see them deciding whether or not certain balls were useful or not.
Mhm.
Gonna make sure I say that correctly on the internet.
Gotta get that spirit juice.
Gotta get the useful balls, the ones that are full of something.
Yeah.
Spirit juice
Really?
is what it's described as.
I'm going to remind you all that I am technically English as another language person, and keep on using words like that.
It's more that
Don't worry
I'm
about
not, and I have to make sure that I say things on the internet that can't
We
be
will
quoted by my
misinterpret everything you say.
Yeah.
Even as a native speaker, you would be misinterpreted. Don't worry about that.
Yeah. She's going to. Yeah, no, that'll work. She's basically going to try the same trick she had before. So, how are you guys disposing of the ones you don't find useful?
I'm throwing them over my shoulder.
Perfect, towards the door. Wonderful. Yeah. Can I scoop them up and chuck them under the golem's feet, please?
No. You know what? Yes, you can scoop them up, but what I suggest as an alternative, you use your wings to like blow them towards the golem.
That's fine. Yeah.
So you start like madly flapping,
just madly blowing balls.
Madly utilizing wind physics to propel spherical objects across the room like giant metal ball bearings. Yeah.
Now you understand what the trauma I had with minors. Give me 2d6 to see how far, if you kind of like roll down for them to be far enough to be useful, if they're just kind of awkwardly being blown in circles or not.
Yeah, blow them right down the shaft.
That's a 2 and a 6 to push them down the hallway.
Yeah, so you're getting them out the hallway, and they're all kind of like leaning up against the golem as it's emitting this alarm.
And then she's gonna like leg it, keep going basically. So she's gonna push a whole bunch of them under, and then keep moving away from it. Because if she gets hit, she's already hurting a little.
Yeah.
She's not strong.
Lucky, so you've got Melody coming towards you. The other two frantically searching through these spirit spheres. I'm going to call them because that seems like the safest name.
That's a much better word for them, I think.
As they're kind of searching through, you can see the exit.
Yeah, I think Henry's just going to grab Melody's hands like, finally, come on, and then he'll start running. Guys, we're leaving, and he'll try and pull Melody out the exit.
Cool. All right. So you guys are both. Oh, let's say you guys are both out. Astrakhan, can you give me I'll say a 3d6 roll. Now you got a helper as well to find a correct sphere.
1, 2, and a 3.
Cool. Not yet.
Nope.
The poor golem just falls on his ass again with all the fucking spirit spheres coming out under him. You also hear some ominous ka-chunks coming from the rooms around you.
Oh dear.
Mr. Whitber.
I'm just going to continue looking for these spheres just so we can get out of here as quickly as possible. Throwing open the next room and just haphazardly looking through there.
Awesome.
Not really sort of going to do a super thorough search, just like looking through and then be like, not in here.
Yep. Given that you guys are kind of working together and working through this, give me a 2d6 roll as you're searching through, up from a 1.
Go 6, go 6, go
2
6.
6s.
Two sixes.
Hey!
So you pick one up. Is this it? And it is. And because you got two sixes, that's technically critical success. You get two of them. So you've now got
Two
two of them. You only
balls
need
full
one.
of spirit juice. Couldn't have said it better myself.
Hey.
Hey, out you go. All right. So, with those, do you do anything else, or are you guys leaving for moosing now?
Those ka-chunks sound like they're going to kill us very shortly. I think maybe we should sadly cease our search and just follow Henry and Melody out.
So you guys managed to run out. You managed to get a safe distance away. Look back, nothing's following you. You make camp, Astrakhan. As you make camp, you're able to use these spheres to repair Darling, and Darling's now back up to full functionality. Um, you um, you guys continue on for a couple more days, um, and then it hits. Oh, who does it hit? I think it's going to hit Astrakhan. As one day she's looking at Henry and looking and thinking back about that university and the things that were there and how it was such a rich source of information. And then she squints a little bit and she says, "You realize you could have used one of those spheres and those robot arms to give him a prosthetic." That's 4 days away now, though.
I don't mention that to Henry.
Fuck that guy.
You guys continue. At one point, you come across an area where it reaches the surface. You can choose at this point to if you want to go along the surface or remain underground. What do you want to do?
The surface has got giant insects that want to eat us. Does our map say that it's going to be a lot longer if we keep going underground?
So at this point, the map's kind of useless. When Moist gave you the map, he kind of gave you guys like orienteering instructions, saying like if you choose to pop up, here's how you can work out how to get where you're going. This is how we work it out, traveling long distance, and because you can't see the stars, you can't navigate by that, but you've got like a compass, and you're able to like navigate some way along the way. It'll require survival rolls to get where you're going, but it's possible.
I think if the group is questioning it, Henry will say at some point, I think the deeper we go, the further down from the mist, the worse things become. I would rather face a bug than have to watch someone get decapitated and an entire civilization of people drink their blood. The bugs have nothing on that.
Henry gets a solid glare from the giant ladybug in the room.
Exactly. I mean, I know you're looking at
Technically,
me,
he
but
said you were better.
you're better than that, so you're welcome. After you.
All right, so you guys going overland now?
Apparently so.
I mean, Henry puts that argument forward. Feel free to argue with him.
No, Henry's our team leader. He wants to go overland.
Oh God, you guys, team leader, guys, get over here. Nah.
He's our team leader, except when there are interesting things that are distracting me.
Mm.
We need a team leader when something goes wrong to blame.
I see you understand how it works.
Awesome. All right. Yeah, we'll make for the surface. Every step up is one step closer to home.
All right. So you guys pop up. I will give you the first roll for free. You don't need to make the roll. You managed to kind of like, oh, like this is where he said it was. If I use the map, he said if we go along this way, we'd reach. Like he's kind of giving you guys written instructions that they use to navigate when they're scouting around. You reach this like known building. It's like a shell. It's not much shelter, but you guys kind of get this landmark and know you're on the right track. As you continue on, you eventually come across a familiar face looming up out of the mist as you walk up to the dark face of Adaran, the Black Dragon of Doom, that you guys encountered at the end of the last campaign. And with that, we'll
Oh,
leave it there.
what?
Like as in
Oh no.
the dragon we killed, and then this is his corpse in the ground.
You don't know
As in,
yet.
we're gonna find out next episode.
to be discovered in the next episode.
Like,
God damn
I
it.
love having not fought him before. It's great.
That's all right. He was weaker than we were expecting.
Mhm.
yeah.
You also had an old fucking airship full of weapons.
Yeah, we did. They neither survived. There was 2 airships.
Mm.
So bardic charm is what we're going with, right? That's the
Yeah.
plan.
Flash your wings.
Stealth.
I'm a
We're going with
giant
stealth.
glittery bug.
But you're so sneaky, Melody. I know you can do it.
Sneak your way into his life, you know?
So, on that note, so you guys will once again level up, quote unquote. So you guys can pick another trait to add
Oh
to your
boy.
respective characters as you've traveled the past few days working past. If you want to talk with me during the week, send me a message in Discord, whatever. So as an epilogue, at one point, Neely was trying to escape from her captors and tried to use her wind magic to do so. When she did, she was bound, she was gagged, she was separated from the others and put in her own cage. Probably the most traumatic part of all that was that she was now separated from her son that she had just found on the surface, working as a slave. She's being taken to a different location than the others. The guards seem to be very excited that they found her, but she isn't able to understand their language. She doesn't understand what makes her different from everyone else. All the others that she sees, including her own son, have got those scar lines kind of crisscrossing their faces more. Almost kind of, for some people who are a bit older, almost completely covered in them. She doesn't know what that means, but she just knows that she's been taken somewhere else. And that's it.